Not a lot of events going on here, are there? There's just the, like, generic premiere event bit, and then the Zendikar Rising acquisitions expert art bit. Hey, everybody. Decided tonight that I wanted to do Modern Cube just for once here. Modern Cube's been on MTGO for a couple weeks, week or two. I want to say a couple weeks. And I figured today's the last day for it, so might as well fit it in, seeing as other plans changed. So here we are, and you know, we get to do the Modern Cube. I don't do the Modern Cube too often. Usually I'm a fan of a bit more either curated or higher power cubes in different directions. But I feel like it's a decent baseline. So we'll see if like mid-range planeswalker stuff is still top of the line, how powerful green still is, that sort of bit. So hello, hello. See, a couple people have already made it in. That's good. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, alright. Making sure we're set. So yeah. Let's get into position for Modern Cube. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. That's a lot of trophies. Oh my god. Goodness. Modern Cube Draft League. Jump on in. Still over 1,000 players. That's actually a pretty high count. So, not as high as I think the usual, like, Vintage Cube counts, but anyway, we'll be waiting for a little bit for players, and then we can get things rolling. Hug. Yeah. Oh, Indrik, thank you for gifting a sub. I appreciate it, and hopefully Atlaworks appreciates it as well. Yeah, keeps things running. Thank you very much. So yeah, oh yeah, please finish your matches before league ends at 4 p.m. Weird timing. Is that's strange timing. 4 p.m. Usually the patch is early in the day than that, right? That can't be 4 p.m. my time, right? Hmm. Anyhow,
I heard the word cube and I just had to rush.
cube, indeed. So yeah, we've got modern cube is the style of cube we are looking at today. That is to say, cards that are legal in modern and a power level lower than the legacy cube. So no true Rexer today, but you know, still a lot of power to be had. Thank you for jumping in, Doc. You should have the eyes if you want them.
All right.
There.
I had to relaunch voice meter. I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, well, excellent. So
It
yeah,
happens.
no problem. You should have eyes. Everything's all set.
I do in fact have eyes.
Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned, modern cube, so lower power than legacy. We're not going to be getting Rexer. We're not going to be getting like game-ending reanimation combos. But we are going to be getting like, from memory, modern cube tends to be ramp is very strong and planeswalkers tend to be pretty good. This cube that doesn't have storm, even though it's a modern deck, that makes sense though. Like it's one of the things that is you have to think about when you're cube building is what archetypes can be supported based on the like depth you can give them. And when you're building a cube that's 540 cards, as the Magic Online cubes are forced to be,
Yeah.
A Magic Online cube is forced to be 540, which means that 1/3 of the cards are just never in play. And
And it,
like
if you're going to be trying to build a modern storm deck in here,
you can't.
there's only so much you can actually pull off in limited because you don't have constructed control, and you cannot do something as easily as you can in like a legacy cube, for instance, because LED is in here, Yawgmoth's is in here, if I remember right.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Like looking at like legacy or looking at your payoff cards that are like the cards that you cast to win the game. In legacy, there's like a number of them, so that you can cast Yogg's Will, you can cast Past in Flames, you can cast things like that to win on to go off. In modern, it's like
you have Underworld Breach as the first new card that supports it in a long time. Past in Flames is still here, but like, what is your storm payoff? Empty the warrants?
it's Empty the Warrens or
Basically.
Grave Shot, and those are those require much more like direct setup. So it's the big problem is that the combination of like a smaller card pool of payoffs and the 540 size makes it hard
Yeah.
to do, because it might just be you try to draft the storm deck and whoops, Past in Flames was never even possible for you to get.
Yeah.
Or was Bolus's Citadel, and now you have a deck that literally can't function. And like when you're there's a lot of different ideas to keep in mind during cube construction. Cube construction is a real tough thing to get right. One of the ones I tend to focus on is not allowing players a trap, not allowing a this is something I specifically, when I'm editing my cube, it's the first thing I keep in mind. Like, is it worth keeping Tinker in the cube if the payoffs aren't good enough for it? And the answer is just no. Like I either need to make it so that there's more ways to play with it or remove the card, because I don't want somebody to pick one Tinker and be like, yes, now I can build this deck, and it's like, well, sorry, there's not actually a
There's no Blightsteel in here.
You.
There's no like Batter Skull, I guess, is like an easy. Well, you probably have Batter Skull in there.
Yeah,
I think you have Batter Skull, but
there's like Sundering Titan. The problem there is that there actually weren't enough. I don't play Signets in my cube,
Yeah.
and there aren't enough small artifacts for you to sack. So like it became a trap of a card, because you would get the payoffs at top, but you would have to sack like Solemn Simulacrum, and I realized after a couple games that it's like, oh, this is no fun. So we had
not fun, and it's not fast enough for Tinker to be its own deck anymore. I would assume.
Yeah, so it makes it so that you have to keep. See, that just feels rude, Fat Swordsman. The creator keeping trap cards in there to annoy or trick new players. That
is rude. Damn.
Yeah, like I'll pick Splinter Twin and then there's no Pestermite in your cube, and it's like, what? Why? So yeah. Ryan on Star City. I know Ryan Overturf, friend of the show, and a very quality person who does work for Star City. Has a number of articles about cube like construction that go into much greater detail about how to set up archetypes, how to set up the skeleton of a cube and such. All right.
The skeleton of a cube, and also how to set up a skeleton cube.
Yes, Ryan has the Grixis cube, which is extremely the skeleton cube for sure.
Hell yeah.
So,
Phyrexian Arena, the new Ulamog, which is new Ulamog is a murderer of a card in a limited format.
Yeah, if we can pick, that's like, so a lot of the times when I'm picking the decks that are like go big and go home, or go big to ramp, I want to it's like the payoffs I want to come second. But like new Ulamog is definitely something that we could get into and try to like see how like green ramp functions for it, or find, I don't know if there's other ways to sneak it in.
Probably not many, but
yeah.
So like on the other hand though, like what what would your first pick be outside of Nulamog? Because there's a lot of good cards in here. Like,
Resto, Search for Tomorrow.
yeah, Resto would be my probably first pick out of those.
I like the idea of just let's go big, right?
Yeah. And we already came in here with the idea of like, Ramp is good in this, right? Ramp's probably good in this.
Yeah. Okay, so then here, let's ask the immediate. Oh my goodness. So a couple questions here we can pick. Number one would be, we have Green Ramp in Absence Pilgrim and Ramp of Growth. We have Mind Stone,
which is colorless ramp.
Colorless Ramp, and
that's good too.
We have Elspeth Conquers Death,
which is yeah, it says return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. With a +1/+1 counter on it, because you got to make your Ulamog bigger. I mean, how is he going to win fights without it, right?
So I guess the question is, do I commit to the green immediately or the Mind Stone? And I think like getting the green is probably more important so that people get out of the color, right? Like
picking up Avacyn's Pilgrim, it's also a question of you're not going to see the Avacyn's Pilgrim again. There's no question.
Yeah.
So
let's go with this now. I want Elspeth Conquers Death, Mind Stone, Rampant Growth back. But yeah, let's try to make green ours at the moment and then like see what we can work with secondarily. Not a lot here that works for the plan. There's a Gavany Township, there's a Hornet Queen, which is another top end payoff card, Den Protector, other cards of power in here. Keep having the art issues, which just have not been fixed in like months. I don't know what's up with that. Monastery Mentor is pretty cool. Kind of funky if our deck is actually super creature based, but like we can turn to it.
I mean, hey, if you have a whole bunch of dorks that get bigger because of Monastery Mentors, not Monastery Mentor, sorry. Either of the other things, and then you just pull out a Ulamog out of nowhere. That's 2 plans, right? 2 plans is good.
Yeah, I also don't hate the Hornet Queen as like another big.
Hornet Queen is a buster of a card. It
try that.
Hornet Queen beats a lot of other cards that are similar to it.
Okay.
Cultivate. Okay, good.
Don't hate that. Taking a look in here for anything that might pull me in a different direction. Shieldred Strong.
Duplicant is also nice as a colorless,
That took me a little while to recognize because it's using the Masterpiece.
Yeah. But that is Duplicant, in fact, which is dope to see.
Yo! Talk about one of my favorites. So people know Teferi from. I'm gonna pick Cultivate here. People know Teferi from these days from War Teferi, who has opponents can't play instants effectively.
People know Teferi these days for his roughly 7 different Planeswalker cards released in 5 years.
Yeah, but this old Teferi was exactly that, was just as strong, felt very, very good.
I want to say Teferi has never had a bad card. Like, every card that has Teferi in its name or being Teferi himself, they're all good. Every last one. I really like Everflowing Chalice here myself.
Yeah, I'm looking at I think Chalice is a pretty good pick here.
Knight of the Reliquary is a good option too.
Yeah, like looking at things that might come back around, Knight would be an option because monocolor cards are a little quicker to go. Chalice seems good because going from 4 to 6 to get us to Hornet Queen or to Ulamog, or even 6 to 9 to get us to Ulamog, this is a card that actually gets us up to this level.
Horde, if it comes back, would actually be cool as, second copy of Ulamog.
Yes, or obviously at any speed. Like this setup. Looks like green is being taken by somebody else here. I can see a number of we're getting few green bits in here, and the ramp pieces aren't here. So I feel like I'm trying to figure out what I want for color 2 in here.
I mean, so the color that goes best with, given that this is Modern Cube, right?
Yeah.
And it's Modern Cube updated probably relatively recently. If that's the case, the color that goes best with green for the plan that we're doing is 1000% blue.
Yes.
If it does, if it's been updated with recent, green blue ramp cards.
True, pick up the slide. I'm gonna go with the stomping ground in the sense that we might be able to find ourselves a copy of like ways to cheat in the Ulamog.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Listen, I'm just saying,
but
I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to see like just opening up Uro.
And
All right,
here's Teferi.
yeah, that's Teferi again. There's gonna be a Teferi in every pack. You know, just we've printed enough Teferis at this point, I think.
Scoos versus Harmonize.
I'm sounding a little bit like I don't like Teferi. Actually, I think Teferi owns.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he has been omnipresent lately.
Yep. Scoos. Keep grabbing things. What's your triumph?
Ain't nothing wrong with the Scoos.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, this is the triumph that would literally be all the. No, sorry, damn it. That's the red. Ah, damn.
that's the Jeskai Triome right there.
Yeah. We got Monolith, we got Terastodon. Those are basically.
Terastodon's always nice.
Um,
Monolith is also good.
Yeah, Monolith gets the job done, especially if blue is the option here. Nothing else stands out to me. Not super. I don't know if I need to keep picking up the top end bits if I'm going to keep grabbing the little things. I'm going to grab this blue based on. Okay, seeing the search come back makes me feel pretty good about our setup.
Yeah, that is nice to see.
Um,
Granted, I think that's because there was another.
Yeah, there was shit, what was the other card in here that was in green? It was
I don't remember what it was, but I think that still tells us that there's only one other green player at the table, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so we can grab a Hinterland Harbor here. Kind of, again, hopefully set up if blue is our secondary. We did not get back
Mindstone.
Mindstone there. Wow. Sure.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw this out here.
Get cord back. And sleight of hand. Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right here. Temporal Mastery right there. That card, probably gonna read Explore most of the time.
Yep. Yeah, Origins Nissa. Yes, thank you. Hey, bud.
Guess what I just said? All right, I called it. Perfect. Perfect every time.
Perfect. Sucks.
Bribery is also huge.
Yeah, I was gonna say sucks to pass up Bribery Urza.
Bribery and Urza are so good. It's hard because I do think Uro is the most on-plan card in here, but
yes.
I think that Bribery and Urza are both stronger cards than it, pretty easily.
Yeah. I like Uro for fixing up a lot of the like late.
Well,
plan.
I actually won't say that Uro and Urza are not comparable in like being game-ending threats by themselves, but
yeah.
Bravery is the strongest card of these three, but I just think that Uro is the most on-plan card.
I think I'm gonna go with Uro because I feel like Uro's gonna fit in really well here, and we do have like
Mm-hmm.
if we can get a little bit more fixing, a little bit more, yeah, we can get something back from this pack. Yeah, even if it's just like Pelucranos or Wolf Willhaven, like that's fine. Let's get this Uro in here.
I'm going to assume that another player is going to choose that blue is going to be their next color, so we're going to see maybe one card out of that: Mr. Rainforest, Tooth and Nail.
Yeah, I'm seeing some pretty
Dismember, actually.
Yeah, I like cards I like in here. I like Misty Rainforest. I like Thragtusk. I like Factor Fiction. I like Dismember. I didn't recognize it because that art is the promo one. I think I want to commit to try to get our fixing
That's fair.
set
Yeah.
before anything else, and then so that we're actually able to cast our sideward, please.
Because it's relevant too. Mr. Rainforest is something that puts into your yard, which is
also like is this updated for Zendikar? Do we have Cobra in here? Are we like that or are we not updated? I don't actually know if this is updated for.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and open up the Modern Cube listing if they have it.
Ooh! I'm liking all this. Okay, Jor-El.
Sword of Feast and Famine. I don't recognize that Sword of Feast and Famine art. It's good. I like it, but
Yeah, And then we got Sack Tribe Elder, we got Time Warp, we got Venser, we even have Treasure Map, which is pretty dang good. No,
You're definitely getting something back out of here that's going to be
yeah,
relevant.
Treasure Map would be really nice because like that fits us up to 10 quicker. Lotus Cobra would be in here even if Zendikar wasn't, because
Lotus Cobra is in here. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's from Zendikar, not. But like we're not gonna see like Omnath bullshit in here. I feel like I'm gonna go with the Sack Tribe because I feel like the ramp is the big bit going on here. But I like Time Warp, I like Feast of Famine, I like Venser, I like Treasure Map. I even like.
I really like that. Out of all of the cards, I agree with you, but I do like out of all the cards in here that you're looking at, Sack Tribe is the one you first pick out of it, rather than all of the other good shit.
Yeah.
Noble Hierarch, boy, that's good stuff.
Yeah, no, this is what we're talking about. Real cards. Kennen Bonded Prodigy is also like pretty dang good if we can get this back to wheel, in the sense that it makes Chalice, Pilgrim, Hierarch, anything that's a non-land permanent that taps for mana gets an extra one, and then it also has a slam effect that goes look at top 5, just slam a card in. This is from
non-human creature. Yeah, this is from Ikoria.
Yeah, this is from Ikoria. The non-human is the key there.
Humans with that care about non-humans are there's a handful of legendary humans from it that do that exact thing, or vice versa. Actually, there's a non-human that does the same thing. I think for humans and
Prime Speaker Vanifar, is that usable?
Do you have a? That's a birthing pod.
Yeah, this is a birthing pod activation. Right? I don't think I have good birthing pod rolls here, so that just might not be real, and like maybe the spell pierce is more.
It's like you'd go Avacyn's. Well, you probably would skip 1 or 2 easy first off, because I mean she costs 4, so you would. Although Uro has okay, hold up. Here's a cool move. You tap her on your Sack Tribe Elder for your Uro, who you then flash in Nimble Obstructionist to counter Uro's triggered sack.
I'm just gonna go with Spell Pierce here. That seems like a.
That's a fair move.
We got Goose, we got Beast Within, we got Revoker, but we got the full on. Can we flip a Delver? We could maybe. Like our deck has Cultivate, Search, Sleight of Hand, but I don't feel we're not a Delver deck.
I don't think the Delver is going to be super relevant in this deck. Yeah.
Have we seen a Planeswalker? Yep, we saw Teferi earlier, but the big one we did see was there's a pack where I did not pick Garruk, 5 mana green 2 Garruk, which is really good.
Yeah.
I like the Breeding Pool here for making our mana right.
I would love to see that Goose back, but Goose is not coming back.
Yeah. Don't hate Golos. Don't hate Genesis Hydra. This is the one that just like slams a thing down.
I don't hate Golos.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Golos is a nice card for this. You're not activating Golos, but I mean he is still a 5 mana 3/5 sad bot pretty much.
Yeah. Grabs any land. Like so if we can find something. I'm gonna grab Golos here. Again, I feel like we only need like one more big oh my goodness, here's some real shit. E-Witness versus Beanstalk Giant, I think is the question here.
Ooh, Beanstalk Giant is good on both of its sides.
Yeah, Beanstalk.
E-Witness is also good on all of its sides. Because it's just got the one and it's really good.
Yeah. It's tough.
That's hard. That's like a real question, like real ask this late in.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Beanstalk, even though I feel like obviously
it feels bad to pass up E-Witness, but I think you're fine with that.
The reason I think here is that Beanstalk is a ramp piece that's also a payoff.
By the way, hi, Urza and Yawgmoth literally right next to each other in the same pack.
Sup.
The bribery obviously isn't here still. I'm actually surprised to see Urza here still.
Sadly, our deck doesn't make enough use of Urza, and I just rather would have another small ramp piece.
Yeah.
So that just fixes thank you. Or
funnily enough, the Urza and the Katamiri together, right next to each other, Those two cards work extremely well with each other.
Yes. I'm going to go with the Thragtusk here as a, like, this is a concession to the beatdown.
So, like, the one player who would have played Urza picked up the bribery instead. Makes sense. They're going to feel bad about having to pass up the Katamari. Hello, Jor-El.
Jor-El's awkward because, like, one of our cantrips doesn't even say draw a card. Shrug, I'm still gonna... God! Shit, Kinnan and Garrick Primal Hunter.
Ooh, this is rough. Okay. I think Kinnan is... Alright, so I think Garrick is, again, stronger card mechanically. Kinnan is the one that is more plan relevant.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab this Steel Leaf Champion. Eldest Reborn. We have a couple cards that are just gonna get out of the deck here.
Steel Leaf Champion is a Woolly Thoktar with upside.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. You can get away with a lot at triple green, turns out.
I feel like this deck wants one more biggie.
Yes.
We passed up a Terastodon, and that's, like, fine. If we can find something like a Crater Hoof or a,
This deck, however, does have one good quality about it. I already like it on after 2 packs, you know?
Yeah. Dryad actually seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Dryad gives us full mana forever, which actually gives us Golos activation.
Yeah, it's Golos activation right there.
Yeah. Not really a fan. Bailout's fine. V-click, force negation, and, like, we have fetches that can go grab, both of these fetches, the Floodstrand and the Scalding Tarn, can grab the breeding pool. Like, so that's also a reasonable pick. With the Dryad. Alright, I feel like
I do like the Dryad.
This deck wants a little bit of refill, a little bit of... Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Card draw and...
Gilded Lotus. This is actually a type duel for us. This is fully... Like, this is a searchable typed duel.
I was not aware that the Triomes were typed. Whoops, I'm going to have to keep that in mind.
They are extremely goddamn strong, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we got Zegoth, Triome, Gilded Lotus, and, like, Rexage and Sower here are probably the other cards of note. We're not really a Nykthos deck. We don't have a lot of...
Yeah, you're not very devoted. Almost all of your cards except for Torniqueen are actually single color.
Yeah.
Like, well, Kinnan is double color, but only one devotion to each, so...
Grab this Gilded Lotus, kind of keep us big. Okay, like seeing Nissa who shakes the goddamn world here. Now that's a Planeswalker who gets us up and running.
Sure is. Another Teferi, by the way.
Yeah, another Teferi. Big thing...
Metamorph, also great.
Yeah, Hangerback, I'd also like in this deck. Remand I wouldn't hate. The big thing with Nissa is, like, one of the questions is, like, oh my god, how the hell do you get to 10 mana for Ulamog? Well, you just play Nissa on, like, turn 3, and then you cast Ulamog on turn 4. Like, yeah. So Nissa's easy here. It's Planeswalker. It's a threat. It's everything. It's the whole shebang.
But I do still want a biggie here, though. Like, another Eldrazi would be great. Another... Give original Ulamog, too. Just have this be Ulamog.deck.
I'd take Ulamog.deck as a play here. Sword of Light and Shadow, Primal Command, Teferi, Master of Time.
That's another fourth... That's the fourth different Planeswalker Teferi we've seen, I believe.
Yep.
High Rankle.
Devoted Druid. There's a different art for the Sword of Light and Shadow again. Was this just like a... Are these the Double Masters toppers, I think, is where they're from?
I have no idea.
I think that's where they're from, because Double Masters was the Artifact Masters set. And Artifact Masters had all the swords, you know, so... I think Devoted Druid or Primal.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like we're starting to reach the point where we have enough dorks.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the Primal because
Devoted Druid's a good dork, though. I'll admit that. Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the druid here. That'll be the like last bit we need. Ooh, great henge.
Ooh, the Great Henge? Okay.
Okay.
That's something.
That can let us play pretty niftily. Mass manipulation is also like a choice, though. Fuck, that's blue,
It's
blue, blue,
hard to
blue.
cast.
Like we need to
Yeah.
control Gilded Lotus or
Or
Dryad to
Dryad.
cast
Yeah.
that mostly. I think I like the Henge because it makes all of our creatures draw at like late game. That's like, Sack Tribe draws a card,
Great
Druid.
Henge is the card ideally that if you got it out enough, that's the redraw. That's the refill that you want.
Yeah.
That digs you down to your Ulamog and Hornet Queen.
All right. Nothing really stands out here. Maybe I grab that Narset as like a thing. This is the so this was
Hythos's Oracle in a cube. What?
yeah. Um Narset, this art on Narset is from the series. All the walkers had an alt art in Japanese only.
Yeah, I think it was Japanese
Yeah,
only.
because that's where you get the Amano Liliana.
Yeah, the exceptionally expensive Amano Liliana.
Yeah.
Holy shit. People are all about that one.
Yep.
Hey, you've got a noble hierarchy. You want to pick Sphinx's Revelation?
I have an Emerson's Pilgrim too.
Yeah.
That's possible. Um,
I feel like that does a decent job of emulating having another biggie. Verdurous Gear Hulk or Progenitor Mimic? Progenitor Mimic. Okay, here we go.
that's the clone that just keeps making itself.
Yeah. I guess the
Um,
problem is that you need something that you really want to clone for that.
yeah, both of these are fine. Um,
Verdurous is just a 5 mana 8/8.
yeah, or just like throw it on your earlier creatures. I'm gonna try out the Mimic.
Sure.
V-Click, Baloth, both the fetches are gone.
Vendilion Click is always nice to have as hand disruption in blue.
Yeah, it's probably fine here.
Hand
Um,
disruption is a thing is like actually pretty powerful in any given cube. So
Yggdrasil, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it a lot. I'm just gonna grab Negate here.
yeah.
Tristani, sure. Okay. Hey, I got Rankle.
Hey Rankle, what's up? I have a pretty fun deck with you. Fun for me only. It's not fun for anyone else.
It's reasonably fun. I'd call it alright fun on the other side of that one.
I'm willing to try out the mass manipulation. I'm being real. Like I would like to see
Yeah,
that work, but
unconvinced is the way I'd put it. Anyway,
I'm also unconvinced. I am lacking any vincing over here,
yeah.
one way or another.
Alright,
Oh.
let's get the obvious stuff in the deck.
Yeah, so
Literally anything that is
boys.
ramp, literally anything that is ramp, literally anything that's ramp. And then the biggies and the payoffs and the Ulamog and more ramp. And more
kind of
ramp.
tempted to do a gimmick
more
one of these to just pick every Teferi I see and see how powerful that is, because I'm willing to bet it's really strong, actually.
You end up with Teferis and Wraths. That's your entire deck. And
Yeah.
Teferi 3 can let you instant speed Wrath.
Yeah. Teferi 3 can let you instant speed Wrath, and also, what is it? Teferi 4 lets you also do everything twice because you can activate them on your opponent's turn.
Yeah. Oh, you're crazy, Paul. Thank you very much for the sub as well. Wow. So this is all the like ramp stuff, and we're already.
You have 17 ramp cards in the deck and are focused on it. All right.
Yeah, and that's like not even counting like Kinnan, who is also a.
Yeah.
I think Kinnan is just fine in here because there's a lot of cards that Kinnan makes, and like it would let us like find things like Hornet Queen. You can
I guess
end step this too, so
I'm guessing that like you have to start thinking about what are you removing from this, or do you want to just stay 1000% focused on this as your plan?
I think this is the plan. I think this is what the deck looks like. I think it's going to be as super into this as possible, and
Okay, yeah.
we just kind of fill out the rest with like a couple bits of.
This is an almost mono green deck so far.
So Kinnan will make non-land permanents tap for additional mana. Nissa turns a land into a creature that's still a land, so it is not a non-land; it is still a land.
Yeah.
Nissa, by the way, is from a separate set of arts, separate from the these ones that Narset is part of, that are the stained glass bits. They had a number of these for war.
And while Nissa is the one giving you the mana when you tap the forest for mana here, you're still tapping the forests, and Kinnan cares about who you were tapping to get the extra mana from that.
You have to tap a permanent for the mana for it to function.
Yes. So if you could somehow tap Nissa for mana, then yes, that would work, but
do I want a 7-mana Time Walk? Do I want just Mana Leak as like a little bit of...
I feel like Temporal Mastery has the one big upside of you're fine with casting that on your upkeep pretty much no matter what, right? It's a Time Walk.
Yeah. Interesting thing about our main deck. Right now there's 2 blue cards.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because that's what I'm thinking, though. It's like, so the real concern always with miracle cards is, okay, you flip it up. Do I actually want to cast that now, or do I want to keep it in my hand for later? The thing is that there's literally no bad time to cast a Time Walk.
Right. Like, thank you, all Time Walk.
Yeah.
So cards I'm considering. We got Skoos, we got Thragtusk, we got Mimic, maybe a Time Walk, maybe a Mana Leak, and then like that's actually 24 already. Like,
Yeah. Like I said, I liked this deck by the end of Pack 2, so the fact that you got even more good cards for it means that there's actually some serious thinking you gotta do to see what you want.
yeah,
Thragtusk just as a, he's just a guy to get in the way.
yeah. This is more of a concession to the fact that creatures will attack me.
Yes, and Thragtusk is good on both fronts on that.
This is a card that could easily get boarded out in a matchup where it's irrelevant, but also like it's also one of our better Progenitor Mimic targets.
It's true, yeah.
Thragtusk also does a little bit of help so that Great Henge is cheap.
Yes, that's true. It's 5/3, so
yeah, which is like the point of Steel Leaf Champion in decks like that as well, or when you're playing. What if like we just start with not a lot of real interactive pieces, but we're just super dedicated to the plan.
See how well that pulls off.
Can you Progenitor Mimic a Nissaland?
It is a creature on the board, and
so it would become forest. I guess but then the trigger would fail until you animated it.
Because it's talking about as if this creature isn't a token, I guess.
Yeah. So like you target a forest to become a forest, you'd have to animate the forest, make it a 3/3, then it'd start making forest tokens, right? Pretty sure that's how we'd go. That's very silly. All right, cool. We have a deck. Add some basics. I don't really want too many blue in here. Forest token, yeah. So there's the Mystery Booster playtest cards, and one of the ones I remember that was pretty interesting was just like 4-mana enchantment that was like at the beginning of your upkeep, create a forest token. That's like a ramp card. Okay, I always thought that was a neat one. All right, I'm gonna add in four islands. That gives us 7 lands that tap for blue. Noble Hierarch, Sack Tribe Elder, Search for Tomorrow, Cultivate, Dryad, Gilded Lotus, Golos, Beanstalk. Okay, we have 14 blue sources or something like that. So, yeah, I think we're fine. All right, let's run it in. Did you ever get a hands on Form of the Mole Drifter? I did. I picked up a copy of Form of the Mole Drifter. It sits with the Mole Drifter in the cube. So, Hyper Ramp. It's been a while since I've just got to play good old Simic Ramp. Welp.
I'm looking this up, and I believe that you are correct about how Progenitor Mimic targeting a land would work.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, here's a hand I'm not keeping.
Well, I mean, hey, this can play everything in your hand.
I can play everything in my hand.
Well,
oh,
this
God
is like
damn it.
If you could have had like a mix of the previous 2 hands, that'd have been great, thanks. This is better.
Okay.
This is much better. Yeah.
We throw back the Dryad because we're clearly not playing multiple lands at a turn. And
kind of a shame to toss back the Dryad when Golos is in your hand.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to throw back the Dryad and throw back the island, assuming that I can turn to the Beanstalk Giant off the Hierarch.
Yeah, okay.
If that fails and we get, like, Noble Hierarch bolted, like, things get really bad, but...
Good news is if you're going to be playing Misty Rainforest very quickly here out of this, so, like, you might get the Dryad back.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
All right, well, Mull to 5, let's go. Let's see how on plan we are.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they turn 1 birds. Okay. Here's one of the very few comparable dorks, though. You are going to turn 1 Noble Hierarch, and you're going to feel good about it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna wait on the fetch, because I want a higher land % chance on the next draw right now.
Yeah.
I want to draw land in the next 2 turns so that I can either turn 3 Golos or turn 3 Thragtusk. The worst case here would be something that kills Noble Hierarch. That would be... And if our opponent just, like, ramps here, that's gonna suck because they're up 2 cards on us. Oh, boy. All right. You ready for a...
All right, they're same hatting.
Same hat.
They're 100% same hat.
Okay.
Beanstalk Giant. On an adventure. Hi, Ulamog. Well, there's your ramp target, so...
All right.
You've got something you want to hit now, and that's nice to have in your hand, but now we have to get there.
So let's grab the breeding pool. Fertile Footsteps. I do need to draw land next turn for this hand to kind of function.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit of an issue.
I would pick the forest here, actually.
Yeah, I'm mentally going through it, and it's actually... Like, we already have double blue, and that's the most we will ever need. All right, so...
You already have double blue. That's the most you'll ever need, and you probably won't need it, because if you rip Temporal Master, whatever it's called right now, you're just going to cast it for the 1 blue anyway.
Yeah. All right, so we really, really, really need to draw land here so that I can Golos. They're on, like, Harmonize? Fact Fiction, something like that. Looks like they're missing a land drop. Okay, oh, they're on a board. All right.
Whirler Rogue.
So they're on, like, an Ursa deck? Search for Tomorrow, enter the XL zone. All right, I need to draw land here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're talking.
All right, so let's go ahead and Golos. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is good. They're on 5. They have a Search for Tomorrow that'll resolve not next turn, but the turn after. Yes, I'd like to... We're basically just throwing, like, plans at each other at this point. I'm gonna grab the Hinterland Harbor again. This way, now I've got like Uro mana for,
Yeah.
and then from there, I think I'm good forever. I don't really ever want to draw another blue. A land next turn would be Beanstalk Giant. Not a land would be Thragtusk. And basically every other draw is live. The literal card I could draw that would not be live right now is Hornet Queen, and I would be able to cast Thragtusk Pass, and then literally every draw from there would be live. Okay, so I'm on no dead draws at this point.
You have 6 mana available to you right now, right?
Yeah, 6 mana available.
So Chalice would get you to 9.
Yeah, and that would perhaps let me untap with Ulamog on the next turn.
Yes.
We have a little bit of pressure from our opponent here.
It's for some pretty decent pressure, really.
Yeah.
That's 2 in the air, and that's or 2 unblockable.
The actual killer here is that Warlord Rogue says target creature can be unblockable. So like if they get down that Beanstalk Giant and have the Thought
Yeah,
still,
that's the killer, right? Yeah.
that's where things fall apart very quick. Right now it's just either we're taking 2 in the air or 2 on the ground, and like neither of those really matter. Is this gonna like harmonize factor fiction style card draw?
They're paying for X. Metamorph targeting Golos, probably.
Yeah, this is stealing Golos.
Yeah.
That's
because they want to slam that giant as quickly
move.
as they can.
The best thing about that for them is that it also blanks my attack next turn. I was going to be able to attack for 4. Oh, shit.
Okay, they want to do the beatdown instead then. All right.
That's actually quite bad. That implies the existence of a Crater Hoof.
Yes.
And I don't have good answers to this outside of a Hornet Queen, right? Like, that's just...
Crater Roof. Well, the thing is that, I mean, Hornet Queen doesn't actually stop the damage or anything. Hi, Sack Tribe. That is slow, but does let you get Beanstalk Giant down.
Yeah.
So, can you Sack Tribe and Thragtusk in the same turn?
No. Land comes in
tapped.
tapped.
Is ZTB tapped? Right, okay. Do you want to rush for the giant, or is Thragtusk's life gain gonna be more relevant?
I think Thragtusk is gonna be a little bit more relevant right now as being able to like minorly pressure them. They missed the land drop.
Yes.
So they're not on their giant. They're just on this, and like the life gain gives me a little bit more time against this. The reason I say that Hornet Queen would be good here is it's just literally blocking 1/1 flyers.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Golos here, thankfully, taxes a 4 damage. That's nice.
Yes.
And they can't kill it. Well, okay, they could, but they'd be losing both Warlord Rogues in response, so...
Yeah, so back up to 20. Card I want to draw then actually becomes Mimic.
Yeah, Progenitor Mimic targeting Thragtusk could probably too much life for them to deal. Too much life, and also, I mean, they kill Thragtusk tokens, they still give you the 3/3.
Yes.
You know?
Like, enough life that we probably get to live through it, and like, yeah. Alright, so here's the, full on for them. They're gonna search for tomorrow. Yes, this resolves. Yes, they go grab another blue source, perhaps, unless they're all... The thing that scares me is the missing land drops means they're 2 cards in hand were alive.
Yeah, it's concerning for certain.
They are 3 cards in hand, 2 known live cards, like live in the sense that they're not lands. They could just be ramp pieces, and then they're just, you know, sure, like play Cultivate or whatever. We're not on Crater Earth mana or nowhere near that. We're on like a pretty quick clock on the ground, but we actually have pressure. Acidic Slime killing Golos? Oh, they're going straight for our mana sources. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, it makes sense actually a lot to do that, given...
Yeah, Visible Beanstalk Giant, things like that. All right, that turns Mimic into a bit of an annoying draw. I want to draw a Cultivate, I think, is the actual draw I want right now.
You want to be able to play 2 ramp pieces in the same turn that are Sack Tribe and whatever you draw, I think, is the best draw here.
Yeah.
Can't really... I mean, Force is actually okay.
Yeah, so... If I attack with Golos and Thragtusk...
They block with the slime and kill it.
Yeah.
They kill one of them.
I'd probably just put Thragtusk in then.
Probably.
Like, and then rely on, like, copying Whirler Rogue if that comes down to it. Or I could attack with just Golos, let them trade, and then... If I attack with both, their crackback gets pretty...
Yeah.
bad. No, maybe I can attack with both. Maybe that's not too bad.
If you attack with both, I would assume the blocks are just going to be... You know what? Actually, their blocks aren't that good. Now you mention it.
Right.
Because I was thinking... Because the Whirl Rogues together, they can't kill Golos.
Right.
Like, I was thinking for some reason that Golos is a 3-4.
Yeah, they're missing the final point of toughness there. They can obviously just slime trade, take 5. Take 8. Okay, this is the play I thought was a line for them. Just go ahead and take it, and now they're in chump block territory. I am on play a sack Tribe Elder. That's going to chump something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a Beanstalk Giant. They're on 3 cards in hand. Again, live. They missed a land drop. Okay, drew a land. That lets them cast the Beanstalk Giant, which is a threat because it can be unblockable.
Yep.
6/6 is not enough to stop my attack, so I can still have Thragtusk attack into a 6/6.
Yes.
Sack Tribe will block something here. Noble Hierarchy is not getting involved in combat quite yet, because 7 mana is the Beanstalk Giant play. Looks like this is where they're playing like if they play a Mere Battlesphere, that'd be bad. Okay, just the good. Mere Battlesphere is like
giant.
Mere Battlesphere was the thing I was like most scared of out of all the possible lines there. Opponent on 8 means that
he's on 8, that's a number, all right.
Like, I'm trying to think what we've got that pulls through there.
I think your best straw is, as it was before, still the Mimic.
And just Mimic, Thragtusk, keep that rolling for a while. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Combat. They can't go all in here.
They can go pretty deep in, but not...
Yeah,
if they're only going to hit you for 4, that's great, actually.
Perfect. Okay. I thought they might go a little deeper, but they're obviously, again, 8 life is a little bit too low to leave yourself, like, that open, where, like, if we literally just draw, like, way to get rid of Beanstalk Giant, this game ends.
Yeah.
Let's grab more forests.
At this point, actually, no, there is a card that cares that you get the forest. That's right, yeah, Nissa. Island is a weak draw.
Not the worst. Gives me Noble Hierarch as a chump blocker now.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get Thragtusk in there for either 6 or probably more than likely
blocked by slime.
Blocked by
is
slime.
What's happening here.
Yep, easy block. Then we
far and away the easiest block.
Then we play our Beanstalk Giant. Again, the problem here is that we're taking 8 next turn.
Yeah. You take 8 next turn, and yeah, you need to have some way of...
Well, okay. Progenitor Mimic wins it on the spot for a really dumb reason.
Because you can target Whirler Rogue and then go ahead and make your own Beanstalk Giant be... yeah, exactly. I get you.
Exact lethal.
Exact's lethal is great.
It
also means that, like, you know what's a good move? Copying Whirler Rogue. You're right, opponent.
Yeah. Kinnan Bonder Prodigy would be fine as well, because that lets us immediately activate Kinnan, and hopefully that's like a... Well, actually, that won't be enough to win. Our current problem is that we're dead next turn. I want to draw... Okay, we have live draws that win. We have Clone. We have... Yeah, that's fine. Time Walk. Time Walk just does it, like...
Yeah. Because you just hit them. twice.
Yeah.
And that's good.
There's no way for us to get to Ulamog mana off of one draw. That's not... Actually, no. Nis would...
So you tap.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit. Never
Oh,
mind.
no!
You're right.
Time
Time Walk does win the game.
You're right. Oh, man. Time Walk is a really good draw, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Dang. Dang. All right, congratulations. That's a pretty good way to win the game, must admit.
Okay, good to know that our deck, like... I feel like this is exactly how I expected this to go the moment I saw, like, birds and our opponent be the mirror and us being mulled down 2 cards. Like...
Yeah, you were mulled down 2 cards and they were on the play. Like, it's understandable that this is how it went.
Right. Anyway, take 6. We're gone. Let's go ahead and move on to 2 and see what we've got that looks reasonable as far as, like, pieces that might correctly interact with them.
Mana Leak is great in any versus ramp deck because, like, in the early game, obviously, late game it's bad, but early on, because every single ramp deck is always going like, all right, gonna go and piss everything out of the board as fast as I can. If you manage to disrupt that, they're gone. Like, their plan is completely destroyed.
I will never stop that, Abyss. Never. Absolutely not. I have to double check. Progenitor Mimic. Any creature on the battlefield. Okay, I just want to make sure that wasn't a one-sided.
Yeah, it's not you control, otherwise it'd be kind of junk.
Is Mass Manip good enough in this matchup?
Is what good enough? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Mass Manipulation.
Ooh, that is good, but you didn't have you didn't at any point there have 4 blue, I think.
Yeah, but that's because I wasn't playing to having 4 blue. I passed on grabbing blue lands multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Like yes, I know I didn't have 4 blue both games, but I literally tutored 3 lands, right? Like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
So that's not.
You could have had a castable. Is the entire point here?
Yes.
And by doing so, you do kind of. I mean, it's hard to beat, like, steal multiple things.
All right. I like that. I'm unsure how much I care for Hornet Queen in this matchup. It seems a little bit too...
It's...
slow.
And if they do have the Crater Hoof doesn't care about Hornet Queen at all.
I'm just not sold on that being super useful. Thrag Tusk I like for being a bit aggressive. Heck, I might even... Do I like Steel Leaf enough for the beatdown? Am I the beatdown? I can't tell who's the beatdown here.
I feel like if you sided in Mass Manipulation, it's hard to justify siding in Steel Leaf Champion.
Sure.
Because then all of a sudden your color focus is very split.
I feel like we're super equivalent. Like that again, we were on a mold of 5 last game, so it's super hard to okay, this looks sweet as shit.
This looks sweet, yeah. Holy shit, this is good stuff. This is turn 1 Forest in Noble Hierarch, turn 2 Druid. Like, or no, sorry, Wolf Haven probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or Druid if I want to get the Lotus on 3.
Yeah. Regardless, this hand rules. This is a 1-lander that, like, extremely kicks ass.
A plus 1-lander. Also, Gilded Lotus is all of the mana we ever need for Mass Manip.
Yes, that does every single bit of blue that you want.
All right. Yeah, I'd go Devoted Druid if I don't draw a land here because I want to be able to Lotus on 3. They missed their 1. All right. Oh my goodness.
Hi, Kinnan. Whoa. You want to talk about... Oh, man. You want to talk about creature mana? Now is the day to talk about creature mana.
Okay.
So, like, this turn, you could, you know, tap blue, green, play Kinnan, tap a Devoted Druid, play Wolf Willow Haven. Yeah, they drew the birds. Nice. Okay,
so I think the line here is Kinnan, Wolf Willow Haven. Actually, no, Kinnan, Druid, tap Druid, Druid, Beanstalk Giant, search your land, tap land, and other thing for Wolf Willow Haven.
Beanstalk Giant is untapped?
Untapped.
Jeez, Beanstalk Giant's good. I understand why that's played in Modern now. Okay.
Yeah, so we just go Kinnan, tap for green, untap,
Untap. Yeah, now we're talking.
tap for green.
You want to talk about an explosive turn. Wow.
We're missing land drops.
You're missing land drops, and you're going to pull out Uro soon, too, on top of everything else here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna grab a blue source so that I can... Yeah, because they might, like, find a way to kill off my, And then we Wolf Willow Haven, enchant land. This could be dangerous because, like, obviously they just kill this, but, like, that'll be fine for now.
I mean, to be able to kill this, they would have to drop, because they need to put
Yeah.
2 mana down and then do the slime. You have at least 1 turn of this enormous mana base.
Yeah, so let's go on forest. Actually, no. All right. Go.
Go. Your move was pretty good playing Birds of Paradise on 2. Now I want to show you how it's truly done.
Okay, so next turn I get Gilded Lotus, and Lotus taps for 4.
Oh shit! Right, non-land. Wow. Okay. Gilded Lotus literally taps for the blue cost on mass manipulation by itself.
Also, if I also could just activate Kinnan.
Oh shit! Right, yeah, that's a thing you can do.
Yes.
Damn.
If I draw a land, I could...
All right, so Kinnan is top 6 non-human permanent. Just slime it.
Top 5 non-human.
Top 5. Right. Okay.
Non-human creature. So
okay, specifically creatures. Okay.
The thing though, if I draw an untapped land here, which is all lands in the deck, I could play Lotus, then activate Kinnan because Lotus would be -1 mana, and I currently have enough right now, so +1 mana would mean, like, yeah, I'm able to do all this. Our opponent is like, Kinnan is
They're in the tank. Oh shit, they're the same.
Oh my god,
you
same hat.
They look so much like goddamn like the same person.
Our hat is the same. Okay, that doesn't work with Kinnan.
Yes.
Our hats.
They are on ooze mana now, though, so
Yes.
you might want to. I mean, you can't really force it, but you want to get that untapped land again.
I want to draw
Lotus.
that on. Okay, so let's
There
go.
you go.
I think we go untapped land, Lotus, and like either hold Kinnan activation or Kinnan activation. Like just
Yeah, because you don't have to do it. Cause you don't have anything with haste, and you can't. You don't have to do it on your
Yeah, so let me make sure that we've got this right now. If I go...
It's 7 to activate, right?
Yeah.
Then you should be good, yes. Because that's 4 + 2 + 1. Yeah, it's 7. That's a spicy attack in, and I like it because if they take this trade, then they're completely setting themselves back entirely.
Right, I would love the trade, especially because Exalted means they have to double block. I think this is just free. And then what are they going to do? Attack in? If they attack in, I spin the wheel.
Yeah. Spin the wheel for my treasure to take. So I think the idea here is that you're going to be, responding to the necrotic ooze or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right now, like once they target your land, or no, they're going to target the Guild of Lotus. What am I talking about?
Yeah, this is dead. This taps for 4. Oh my god.
And hey, if they do for some reason target, they're...
This is something here. 3. Again, they miss just as many... they miss their land drop as well. So...
Yeah. long and short of it, they kept the same hand as you.
Yeah, well, they drew birds on 2. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, they're slow. Good. Great. I love that.
Okay.
One into their hand because they do get to play that one.
Yes.
Right now.
So now they'll have 3 mana.
Yep. And then they have tap birds for any color. 3 mana. I don't think there's anything that's super threatening at 3 in this case.
They could Reclamation, Sage, Kill the Lotus. Sure, double Explore. That might be draw 2. I don't really... Alright, again, I'm going to wait until maybe they go into combat. Hey, Whirler Rogue revealed. They're probably just keeping that on top, right? Like, that card's been good. Oh, who knows?
I don't know if it's fast enough this time. Because they kind of need to kill you at this point. Like,
yeah, they're under... Like, the pressure that we're going to have on them... Yeah, they threw it in the yard.
yeah, that's actually what I thought that they would do. Because,
Come on,
no, seriously,
Yes!
They weren't aware... Oh, they probably didn't notice because of, yeah.
And we whiff.
Whiffed. Oh, come on.
That should have been such a good punish. God damn.
Yeah. Oh well.
If that was, I guess,
happens.
you know what? I flipped Hornet Queen out, and that was that right there.
Yeah, that was Hornet Queen. You're right. Great Hand is actually not cheap right now, huh? Wait, Devoted Druid. Sorry, Noble Hierarch. Is that until end of turn?
Yeah, but they have a 3/3 to block.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think we still henge though.
Yeah. No, probably. Like, because you can then also Uro afterwards, so no problem.
And it's Scavenging Ooze, and they both will draw me a billion cards.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go.
I was just thinking of trying to make the henge 1 cost cheaper.
Also, the henge taps for 3.
Double blue. Yep. Oh, sorry. 3. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a non-creature. Stupid. Kinnan actually kind of rules. I have learned this right now. Kinnan's ability kicks ass.
Okay, so let's go ahead and Uro to draw some card.
Do you want to suspend Search for Tomorrow, or do you want to go ahead and play it as well?
Probably just play the dang thing.
Yeah. I actually especially want you to play it because it shuffles your library. I would like to actually possibly draw that Mass Manipulation again.
Oh my god.
Mana. You got some.
So I can Chalice on 2. That's probably fine.
Chalice on 2. Yeah, you've got mana for days. Chalice on 2 is perfectly fine. And then, I mean, here's the thing. It has for 2.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, you mean Chalice on 2 as in tap for 3. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I thought you were also going to play the Search for Tomorrow in this turn.
Yeah, probably should, right?
Yeah, I think so. All right, opponent. Here's what we got.
Anyway, here's a bunch of bullshit. We'll grab Island.
We don't have a hand anymore. Kill Kinnan this turn or you lose. Yeah, Chalice on 0 would still give 0 mana because it doesn't generate mana at all to begin with, I believe.
Yeah. It's like double. You're like trying to add +2 to 0 damage. Like you're not dealing any damage to do anything with. Okay, so cool thing here. No matter what our draw is, as long as the Great Henge lives, Beanstalk Giant is a redraw.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, how much mana do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 17.
You have commander
19?
mana.
Yeah, I could cast Ember Cruel and have some left over.
Yes.
All right, what's this? 4? 5? Bribery is worst case.
Bribery to grab your Ulamog. Whisperwood Elemental is just, that's the manifester, right?
Yeah, it just manifests. That's just like
Yeah.
trying to fill the board, and I shrug. Sure, cool.
Yeah, it's a good card. I like Whisperwood Elemental a lot. I remember that card being a Fate Reforged All-Star.
Yeah. Why on earth would you attack with Kin in there? Don't do that.
You would take that block every day, right? Like, it's free.
This is a 3/3. They didn't. You know, it's hard to notice, but this is a 3/3 because. Wow, I do not like
that
the look
border
of this.
is hard to read.
I do not like the look on this. That actually looks like crap. Yeah, it just looks bad. All right, anyway.
Feel free. You have 2 mana left. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, sack tribe, draw a card.
That's actually, it draws you a card.
Yeah, so it's sack tribe, draw a card.
Oh man, I love Sad Bottom with a discount. Cord.
Oh.
Cord would get you.
Cord's just Ulamog.
Cord is just Ulamog. Kind of a shame that you don't get the cast trigger off Ulamog, but that's okay.
So I just end step it then.
Yeah.
Like.
Can you Cord for Ulamog and still get the Beanstalk Giant down?
Yes.
This is actual question.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This Beanstalk Giant is like nothing. It's like tap some of my artifacts, I guess. I don't know.
Alright, so Cord costs 13 to hit the Ulamog. Hi, Nissa. What if everything you play taps for double mana? Everything. Every single card, you know?
I'm doing a count quick. If I play Nissa, activate on this forest, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I don't think you can just kill them if you.
No, I wouldn't be able to cord.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Actually, no, this is 2 mana.
Oh. Okay.
So. No, but shit, I have to float it. Okay, no, it's because I tap things. All right, let's pass.
All right.
We will just end step the cord. Because, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, because I can't actually make Nissa without floating or tapping a forest.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, and then Ulamog attacking brings them to 2 cards in library.
Which is pretty hard to beat. Nissa.
Well, they can tap target creature.
Well, they can't do it as because you convoke as tap as a cost, right? So they wouldn't be able to respond to that.
Sure, but they can tap my Ulamog before it attacks.
Oh, good point. Yes. Ah, damn. Again, if only you could just. Well, new Ulamog is exile 2 target permanents. That's right. It would actually hit Thassa.
Yeah, it would hit Thassa. If they tap low here.
Prize Speaker Vanifar.
Okay,
that's another card.
That card doesn't do jack.
There's no 4 on the board, yeah.
Well, no, like, you're not going to have a library.
Oh, also true.
Like, the card, what are you going to tutor?
Mm-hmm. The best part about the Ulamog attack is that it
Okay,
says the word
come on.
exile.
What I need here is end step, Thassa, Flicker, Jade Light Ranger, and then flick 2 cards off the top of your library. They're gonna manifest 1.
Mm-hmm.
Flicker this manifest.
Oh, that will flip it, right?
Yeah.
So, what is it?
I'm just quick thinking about what it could be that.
It's Beanstalk Giant. Okay.
Sure.
Not super relevant right now. All right, can vote for 10.
And I'll draw a card.
Hi, Golos.
Alright, and I will.
You have 2 turns remaining.
1.
Beat. Right. Yeah. Sorry. When I say 2 turns remaining, I mean one they hit the second turn, they're dead. Man, Great Henge actually is super great including this deck.
Yeah. Alright, there we go.
Okay.
They're conceding before we see 20 cards.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Alright, this matchup is hilarious.
Who goes off harder quicker?
Oh my god. Like. So I'm feeling the Hornet Queen's probably fine to include.
The mass manipulation was really easy to cast in that game, and also
would have been their entire board.
It would have just destroyed them, like, completely.
Yeah, it's their entire board. Let's roll it back. Let's just.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Do we have a way to spin Golos? Yes, we have a Dryad that makes all of our lands any color.
Misty Rainforest, Sack Tribe. Yeah, I mean it's slower, but this does work still.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. Problem is, if they've got a real fast one, we're in a little bit of danger. Okay, that.
Arbor Elf can be a real fast one.
Okay, I kind of want to draw like. All right, let's just go ahead and chip it. We get to Wolf Willow onto. They've got 3 here. Is this going to be Explore twice? No, just Kodama's Reach? Sure. All right, let me go ahead and get this out of the way then. All right, I'm going to Sack Tribe instead of Wolf Willow Haven because if they have acidic slime, we get hyper owned on that.
Yes. I also think that there's a world in which you actually use the Wolf Willow Haven's mana on the turn you play it.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so they grabbed. Yep, sure. Sure. All right, that's done. Yeah,
For as fast as they could be going, they're not going ultra fast.
Well, this
yet, so.
this is 5-on-3. Come on, this is.
Yes, 5-on-3 is reasonable. That's okay. That wasn't 8-on-3 like last time or something like that.
Oh my god.
It was 8-on-4 or whatever it was.
Whatever the hell we were doing.
Garrick. Okay, Garruk is a pretty good card here, actually.
The overrun threat in there is actually pretty strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, now they have a pretty significant amount of mana. That's concerning.
Okay.
Dryad, actually, right now, would let you... So if you played the Dryad here, you'd be able to slam down that second island. You can definitely Dryad and Wolfwell Haven in the same turn.
Yeah, can I Dryad Beanstalk and in the same turn? I don't think so.
Okay, so Beanstalk,
No,
you could...
not quite.
Yeah.
So let's go Wolf Willow. Dryad. Land. Okay, and that gives us something I can like attack at Garrick with, if they don't play any
Yeah.
thing, but they will. They're gonna,
I think what they're actually going to do here is that they're going to slow down a little bit and just start creating beasts.
or they have a 9-mana play, like,
Or they've got a 9-mana play, yeah.
this could be like Terastodon, Hell Breaks Loose, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they are on Terastodon mana. Thassa, not super concerned about Thassa. That's actually
Thassa can tap down something, but that's actually like...
that's
That's okay.
It's pretty irrelevant right now. I draw a land, I could chord for Golos, and then untap Golos activation.
That'd be dope, yeah. I'm glad I had the correct read on them.
Yeah.
Slow down a bit and beast. I obviously there's no way to know without seeing their hand, but it felt for some reason like they don't have a payoff in hand. They just had a bunch of ways to get up there.
That makes me feel a lot better about our position. So I have chord for 4.
Uro's almost on the board. Almost. Not there yet, but...
I probably just want to keep spending ramp pieces to try to get closer to Ulamog here.
Yeah. Thinking chording for something small then?
No, I'm just thinking Beanstalk Uro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I was also thinking like at some point if you don't get a chord for Druid, to get 2 more mana out.
Yeah.
Although I think maybe
2, 3, 4,
Golos
5, 6,
activating
7.
Golos might be a better move. I don't know. Come on, draw another land, actually. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So...
You have 8 mana available to you right now.
They've got the Tapper, but that doesn't really do anything. They don't have much aggression right now. They played another land. They've got infinite mana right now, like literally. Like they have 10 mana. They can play their own Ulamog.
If they do play their own Ulamog, then we bow to them and accept that they, in fact, had the more consistent Ulamog deck.
Yep.
But no, right now they're just kind of playing.
Yeah, here's more ramp pieces.
Sense.
If I don't draw anything else, Beanstalk Giant might be okay. Oh, I don't know. I probably just want a chord for Golos, and then... like...
Hope you just draw 1 more land and then just play Ulamog.
Yeah. That seems fine. 1 card left in hand.
Oh, Devoted Druid's just here. Okay, dope.
Sweet.
That is Ulamog down next turn, so...
And chord at the end step. It's both.
Yep. The most important, excellent part about the Ulamog here is that that's a cast on Ulamog. They're gonna get the exiles anyway.
Yeah.
And then what can they do about it, really? They're playing blue-green, and that is an indestructible creature with a cast trigger.
They'd have to steal it.
Yeah.
That would be the danger, is like if they just go ahead and like Sower of Temptation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen anything of that sort out of them.
Plus, they are extremely low on card draw, by the way. They are even more devoted to just ramp than you are,
Well,
it feels
even
like.
if they do have a copy, but they'll lose first. Again, I don't care if they
Yes.
counter it. Like, I don't care about counterspells. If they counterspell this, we still get the double exile. Like, I kill their, I get their Garrick, I get their Thassair, I get their like most relevant bits. Odd.
Sure. Interesting choice, but okay. Ah, does mean you
Oh,
can't court it then,
I
Seth.
should have courted in response there. I wasn't even.
Ugh,
I wasn't even thinking. That's fine.
it's fine, yeah. The court is not.
If no, this is fine because I want them tapped out. This is actually
Yes,
okay.
they're tapped out, and again, you're aiming to cast Ulamog anyway, which you can do on board. So
Yes. So, what do I have for threes?
what do you have for threes? I don't know. You have Kinnan as a 2. That is a 2-power blocker that can block the 1/1 there, and then also just like guarantees you're good. Because they fully tapped out here. Like, what are they
Yeah.
gonna do now?
They can untap Garrick.
Really, really glad to see that Garrick not being played as an overrun.
Okay. Exile Thassa, exile Beast token, and then we can attack Garrick down.
Sure, yeah.
And it's fine. All right.
That affects the board more relevantly.
Do you have an answer to Ulamog?
You've got 3 cards to answer it, like right now. 2 cards to answer Ulamog right now.
Mass Minute for 1.
Nah,
Sower's the card that scares me the most.
Sower's triple blue, isn't it? No, Metamorph
That's
for
fine.
Ulamog.
That's fine. We attack first. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, because doesn't come into play as a cast. That is not a cast, is what that is.
Yeah. And we have enough cards in deck barely to survive 1 attack from it. As long as they don't double clone it. Son of a bitch.
God damn it. God damn it. Of course. Ah, they had to have
Okay.
last card in their hand.
Okay.
What if you have your own show up?
I need to have my own time walk then. Because Ulamog blocks Ulamog, that's fine, but like we lose 20 cards. If I could force them to draw 2 as well, that'd be enough. Not even gonna look. Not worth it.
Yep. Bet on time walk, baby.
I don't know nor care.
Oh, they've got something in hand right now that draws a card. And they just decided against doing it. I am incredulous they had, like, literally the exact 2 cards left in hand to punish you the only way that they could.
Want a Kinnan activation? Sure, go for it. Alright, what is the card in deck?
Temporal Mastery is not there.
Great Henge?
I think it's Great Henge, yeah.
Looks like the last card in deck is Great Henge.
That's not going to do anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was checking to see if, like, maybe,
Hey, if you want to kill yourself in style, you could sacrifice the Devoted Druid by putting -1/-1 counters on it, and then play Uro. Wait, no. How many is a row for escape? I thought it was 4. It's probably not 4. 4 is the cast cost. That's right. Exile 5. Right. Okay.
Mm. The escape is 4 mana, 5 cards. That's where the
Yes.
confusion is coming in.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Whisperwood Wolfhaven has its own text. Right. Forgot about that.
Yep. Henge costs 2.
That's cool.
And, most importantly, I get
0 cards in hand, 0 cards in deck, 0 cards in graveyard.
I get to kill myself.
There you go.
Okay.
1 with nothing played.
Perfect.
I am incredulous that they had literally the only hand that they could have possibly had of the 2 cards left in their entire deck that
So
could have solved it, and they had both of them in their hand at the time.
The killer there too is that like you might look at that and see them fully tapped out and think like, well, if I would have targeted a land maybe a little better. The problem there is that actually they had they didn't pay the life to Phyrexian mana. They literally could have just paid 2 life instead and then time walked, and that wouldn't have stopped it. So, like, I like the mass manip there. I like
Oh, there's tons of reasons why that would have been fine. I think like that the cards in your deck that worked out. Again, that's also two games in a row there that proved that once this deck has a good hand at the start, you can accelerate pretty quick.
Time Walk doesn't use Phyrexian mana, but the Metamorph does.
Yeah.
Oh, kick ass.
Yes, this rules. Another blue-green land.
Oh my god.
Maybe everyone had the same idea. Maybe actually this is in fact the format where you play ramp. Okay, yes.
God.
Hell yes, I'm for it.
Oh, this is so good. Oops, Soul Tie.
Oh man. Thragtusk also makes the Great Henge cost 4.
Yes. I'm just gonna Thragtusk here. So that
Nice Tarmogoyf, idiot.
So that I can henge,
What's up?
Henge next turn.
Also, you have Scavenging Ooze in your hand right now.
Like,
Tarmogoyf is not threatening.
Yep, I can eat my own arrow if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Alright, Uro. Nope. Dryad, sure. You got it, boss. Uh-huh. Alright, time for Henge.
Can you cannon and Henge at the same turn?
Yes. So actually, I want Rainforest, sack. Henge.
Yeah, you would want to play the cannon second, that's right.
Cannon. Draw a card.
Now, do you want to draw a card off this? Yeah, okay. It was either that or you just keep it in hand for like when they do fill the grave and you just, eat their entire grave. Hey, block this and give us another one. Let us draw another card. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Come
You could have killed
on.
it.
All right, so if we untap with Kinnan, we have 11 mana. If we don't untap with Kinnan, we have... Ooh, wow.
Impressive.
Perfect. Anyway.
Hey, I mean, Uro is basically out, though,
Yeah, no blockers, thanks. Let's go ahead and devote a druid, please. Also devoted druid taps for 1 billion mana.
Oh, right. Miracle is only when you draw it.
First draw.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's still playable, basically,
play
so...
it.
Yeah. So, devoted druid, you can kill that, get a row out, draw 2.
Oh yeah, like we can just kill the... That's one...
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the devoted druid into your grave, then exile a grave, play Uro, draw 2 cards.
Alright, so... Untap. Tap. Untap. Tap. Untap. Blue. Blue. Uro. Make your Tarmogoyf suck. Yeah, Miracle is first draw.
Miracle is very restrictive on how it works because otherwise it'd be a ridiculous mechanic otherwise.
Yep.
And it's already a ridiculous mechanic, so...
There's Gilded Lotus, and... Sure. So then we get a Gilded Lotus. Then we get...
So here's a chalice for 4.
There's a chalice for 4. Anyway, your go. This is what, turn 5? Yeah,
that was turn 5, yeah.
Yeah. That was turn 5.
7-7 in a row, huh?
Yeah, 7-7 in a row. They have to kill it.
They have to kill that, yeah. If they do, we're actually not in a fantastic situation.
We're in top deck, but all of our creatures top deck and,
Yeah, into more. Primal, which will... Henge and shuffle. Okay, they're just getting
They're
rid
just
of
shuffling away my henge, okay.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
that's not a
okay.
bad play. I get it.
Well, first things first, before anything, let's,
Go ahead and roll the bones of just drawing a card because Hero's just like that.
Who does this on attack?
You're at 36 life!
Yeah, I'm playing standard right now. The chump.
Opponent's extremely on the back foot. But they are playing black, so this could turn around at any given time. So...
I don't have a fireball. Why does it do it on attack? Because it's a Titan. Uro doing it on attack is correct. That's not the problem with the card.
It's actually the fact that I mean the draw is also probably fine. Putting the land card on the battlefield is probably fine. Gaining the life is all probably fine. Like all 3 of those things are okay in their by themselves. It's doing all 3 of them, and there's no conditions attached to any of them.
Yeah. Okay, so they got rid of my henge, and now if they kill my Uro, I think they need to kill it. Oh my god, that's double edict. That's not enough.
That doesn't work against you. Yeah.
That's not enough.
That you sack Pilgrim and Beast, and boy, that's it. So what they instead played was a 6-mana 2/2.
It draws cards whenever a creature does.
I guess, yeah, okay, fair.
Which... Yeah. We were talking about...
Mono Lily, yes. So they're going to block with good thing Uro doesn't have trample, so...
Alright. Where's a fireball in this deck?
I guess it's mental manipulation is your closest thing to a
God damn it.
fireball, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. We didn't swap mass manipulation
Yeah.
in yeah, okay. So I guess we'll just start kicking their ass with forests, right?
Yeah. Hell, I'm gonna... Actually, no, I don't think I want to...
Do this in response to them doing the double sack, maybe?
Well, it's your turn only.
Oh, dang.
I'm gonna leave it as like a backup. Like if they wrath here.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I can actually get a little bit more. The amount of times Fireball has been cast hit multiple targets is like 1 in 100. It's very rare that you're not.
Fireball is
casting
99% of the times exists to kill your
Oh,
opponent's
what the hell?
For any number of target planeswalkers, choose a target planeswalker you control, put to... Okay,
And then they
sure.
get to ult Liliana, which is...
Choose a permanent they control of each permanent type, and then sacrifices the rest, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, creature makes sense. Artifact makes
creature-
sense.
Artifact. Enchantment land? Actually,
I guess. Oh, yeah, you're 3/3. Yeah.
I can give the 3/3. Or I can keep the Wolf Willow plus the island and have a little bit more mana.
Having 5 would be nice. Yeah. Your opponent did this to reset you, and they did a
Anyway,
good job of it.
Here's the reason I want this is then I can recast Uro if Uro dies.
Yes, fair.
Come on in. I'm only at 39, you know.
And you still... Damn it! You're one off!
I know.
Well, you might not be one off. Let's see. Okay, well, you'll have it next turn.
I'll copy their Tarmogoyf.
Oh, hell yeah! Goys for days.
I'm glad I didn't sack the Wolf Willow Haven.
Yeah, same.
Do you? Here's some garbage. You got rid of a billion of my cards. God, but you didn't get rid of the Uro. I can't believe the Elder spell into an ult. Holy shit.
That is a powerful swing. Yeah. Now that you know that, do you care to keep playing Nissa, or
That's tough.
Nissa's probably still good just for the first ability on her.
Oh boy, you want to draw 6 cards? Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Also makes sense. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, they still can't block you, so.
I'm like, what are you gonna attack? Come on, I'm blocking.
Okay, come on, buddy. You can't do that. Why would you do that? I feel like there is no world in which that was a correct attack.
Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. I can't copy it because it's legendary.
Right, yeah, fair.
Um,
On the other hand, I mean, just the copy Tarmogoyf sounds pretty good.
Especially to copy Tarmogoyf that makes him Tarmogoyf every turn. Uh-huh. There's 1,000 reasons I can't copy it. Sup.
Goyfs.
Alright, here's Tarmogoyf. At the beginning of my turn, more Tarmogoyf. Also, yeah, I'm at 45. And if they
Delicious.
kill Uro,
He just comes back.
yeah, I have bad news.
I think the escape really is the thing that. If Uro was just a 6-mana creature, you would not be nearly as ridiculous.
No, if this was just a Titan.
Yeah.
Alright, are you killing Uro? You drew 1 billion cards. Oh my god. Alright.
Go to 2?
That makes
Do
both
you have
my
any way to
creatures
gain more
lethal.
life? Yeah. I mean, they might have something in their hand right now that can gain them life.
They have to have a kill spell, right? There's no way they don't just have a way to wrath this board in some fashion. They've drawn 1 billion cards. I will take your
Either that or
attack.
they keep on digging for it. They're searching for the damnation in their deck or something.
Well, let me check the log then. Read the Bones was 1 top, 1 bottom. So, you know.
That's a good reset, actually. If they do wrath it. They have to have something. They just are, or they're just sandbagging and just letting them,
I'm gonna attack and see what they have. Aetherizing my board? Like, what is this? Shark as a chump blocker.
Incredible.
And
How much cost 2 right now?
I don't think I want to cast it.
Yeah, you don't. I have to say, I am very impressed with your ability to come back from being reduced down to 3 permanents.
Yes.
And having still been ahead on board when you only had the 3 permanents.
They ran
because you were.
They killed like 20 cards I control, and it's just like,
Who cares?
Sure. One of which was Gilded Lotus, one of which was Uro. Like,
yeah.
All right, you got to play Ugin. I was gonna say this has to be Ugin.
Okay, this is their way to. Okay, this makes sense.
Except for I played Golos.
Yeah. So Golos still hangs around, but they get everything else.
Yeah.
Which doesn't get rid of Uro for long, but I mean they do get everything else.
It exiles.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, exile.
Yeah, it exiles. The problem here being that Golos is in play.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
Still kills your opponent, or kills your Ugin, or whatever you want to do.
They're gonna -3. Like, they have to. They lose the game if they do anything but -3 here.
Mm-hmm.
So Golos attacks, brings them to 3, because I can't kill Ugin, so I just go for their life total, and then like probably just play Hornet Queen and see what their answer is. This is just the problems in Standard Cube.
I mean, as far as I can tell right now, Modern is just kind of Standard 2. Like, it's a very similar format right now just because of all the problem cards in Standard.
That and like what Modern Horizons, the 1-2 punch there, yeah.
Yeah.
Plays Goyf with Nighthawk. Night Goyf. My opponent is extremely thinking on an extremely straightforward play. Like, you just have to -3 the Ugin, and there's no choice here. By the way...
Yeah?
I want Tarmogoyfs. Give me all of them. Give me all the Goyfs. Okay, thank you. God.
And then what? Are they going to slam Slaughter Pact onto Golos? And that's what they're like really hard thinking about or something?
Shrug? I don't know.
Oh, you could activate Golos.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. You're just gonna hit him twice, I'm sure. But
yeah, that's the play. I will attack my opponent because killing Ugin and killing my opponent are the exact same action here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play Hornet Queen. This necessitates Wrath too.
Yeah.
The sequel to Wrath.
Target removal does jack and all against.
You could minus to kill the insects, but you can't minus to kill the Hornet Queen. So yeah, okay.
Or Golos. Yeah.
So now you have insects to deal with, and 3 of them are lethal. So I need you to do something about that. Or don't do anything about that. I'd be fine with that too.
They have a blocker for Golos now.
Yeah, they can creep the tar pit in the way. And Lumbering Falls, they can activate both.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also problems.
Yes.
Like, they needed Engineered Plague or Wrath of God, and I don't think they would have.
I don't think they would have Ugined if they had it, is the thing. What are you playing X for? Genesis Hydra. That does not have ramp, but it has the top X. They do have the Damnation. That's what they were digging for.
Permanent.
Yeah. Permanent.
So that can only put Garrick X Predator into play. Shit, that'll be enough. That's actually good enough. Garrick Apex Predator kills Golos, and then they gain 5 life here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. Dang.
Okay. So they
still die in 2 hits, but they kill 2 insects a turn, and they gain 1 life.
They kill all of them. -0 kills all.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Fair. Never mind.
All right. So here's our play. We're gonna go tank Garrick, attack Garrick. You can have the ult on Ugin. I don't give a shit. Like, yep. Ahem. Many might go the right way, and then attack opponent. 2 and 2.
Why is the ones on the right are the thing attacking the thing on the left, and the ones on the left are attacking the thing on the right? Magic Online, please.
We have 8 cards left in deck. And then we're gonna search.
One of them's Ulamog, though, right?
Yes.
So that'll be nice. And you are still capable of playing it. Oh, the Cord is also there.
Cord's in there too, but Cord doesn't have anything to grab.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and play the Dryad here. I need to play the Henge. So that I have enough mana to play Ulamog. The other thing, again, like... Okay, yep, so here's the obvious move. So that sweeps that away. Their new problem. I'm a 48. Yeah, you can Inquisition me. That's fine. Oh my god.
Rankle.
Oh my god.
The pranks are here.
Ranking.
Prank chamber.
We're getting ranked.
They're gonna force you to discard that Great Henge and sack the Dryad.
I don't think I block. I think I forced them to Edict.
That's, yeah. And then they probably keep the Rankle on board just for board control.
Yeah, so force them to sack a creature.
Yeah, so that gets rid of their Hydra. Or, okay, nope, I feel like that's a mistake. They should have been able to be giving the ability to do that twice.
Okay. So we have our life total is padded to the point where we have 3 turns of padding here.
Yes.
So I need to draw land, then Ulamog. We also have a couple other draws that would be like pseudo land draws. Yeah, sure. That's
Beanstalk Giant would be a land.
Yeah, things like that. There's still 1 basic left in the deck.
Cultivate is also a card in your deck still.
If they can kill Gilded Lotus, I think they actually win this.
Yeah, I don't think there's no coming back from that. You lose at that point.
Please, draw as many cards as you like.
They declined to do so. Excellent.
Okay, so again, I've got...
And then you play the Ulamog, you kill whatever, it doesn't really matter. You kill the Ugin. Noble Hierarch is also a pseudo land.
As long as
the worst case scenario is just that Ulamog's not in the next 2 cards.
Yes. I believe we're out of it here. The only way we can lose is if our opponent decides to ult Ugin for no reason. Yeah. Good.
All right, so you lose the damage at this point.
Yeah. Again, unless they ult Ugin for no reason. Which they're not going to. I want that mass manip here.
Yeah, the mass manipulation will do some great work.
So...
That was an extremely close game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mass manip. I don't know how I feel about Hornet Queen in this match. Again. It feels like a path I just don't want here.
I could see that.
Drag Tusk is fine. That's like a body that stays. That's sticky. Alright. Here's the game plan. Go. Add in the Eldest Reborn, and I might want that negate.
It does hit walkers, so...
Yeah. Just thinking about things that hit their walkers, right? Like... Should be fine. We're on the play, 2 draws. We need 1 land, then we get to cultivate. If we don't draw land, there's a high chance that the cards we do draw are mana sources anyway.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think this is too slow in the sense that we get a Gilded Lotus on 4. Okay, that's not the card we want to see right now. The card's good, obviously, especially with the Gilded Lotus. Okay.
Two of the only cards that you couldn't slam immediately.
That's fine.
There you go. Okay. Little slow at this point, but it's still okay. This is not like an irrecoverable at all.
So we're gonna go ahead and grab Swamp Forest. This is actually gonna be fine. Like they get to ramp, but like we're ramping back just as hard, and I can mass manip for 2 to like answer some sort of like board problems. All 3 colors of magic. Yeah, you can have some card draw. That's fine. So yeah, we get to Gilded Lotus and Beanstalk Giant next turn. So that's, again, the reason I kept that too is because, like, the Lotus on 4 is... Okay, I got a lot of...
Derogatory Speaker is not that relevant, honestly. She's just too She's just 2 more mana.
Was our opponent like secretly ramp that whole time, but like didn't get it last game? Like what's going on over here?
Yeah, it's like, okay, we needed to wait 2 more turns to do this. It's still a fine. It's still fine. You know?
This is Gilded Lotus on 5.
Yes, which is on time Gilded Lotus, and then you're accelerating now, so you're good.
Right, let's grab some blue. Let's start getting that so that we can. All right, so I've got Mass Manip for when they start playing walkers down, and hell, we can Ulamog next turn. Next turn.
Sounds good. And yeah, since they play Draga Tree Speaker, they're probably going to want to level her up at least once.
Yep. So yeah, we can just do Ulamog next turn.
Hey, Garrick.
And we have Mass Manip as a backup in case they have some sort of control problems there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could wait 1 turn and have Negate up.
Could we 1 turn and have Negate up? Having Negate up is great, you know?
But this Ulamog is like...
It does kill the Garrick and also the Druid, I guess, or Druid Trees. Probably the Druid.
Yeah, Druid
I think
is
they want the fixing more. Because otherwise they only have 1 blue, you know?
Yeah, and like I have the counter of like Mass Manip for... Let's just get this Ulamog down.
Or consider this.
What's up?
Get rid of the Druid and the Drowned Catacombs, remove blue from them entirely. And then you can just mass manipulation the Garrick and take it for yourself.
I don't want to leave them with the draw.
That's fair.
Because they'll just draw on this. I'm going to hit Tree Speaker and keep them off of land.
Okay.
Mana sources. Next turn I can Mass Manip with Negate back up if things go horrible. What mana counter they have in this cube? Doesn't matter. Ulamog triggers on cast. Like,
yeah. Rankle does force you to sack Ulamog. But you did just put in that Graveyard Recursion.
yes.
So. And I'm just going to say this. I think Rankle would be dope to have ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what they want. Obviously, Edict. You have to Edict or you lose. If I were to discard, I'll just discard the Cord here. Just
yeah, the Cord's not supremely helpful. It would let you grab Golos, I guess, if you plan on Golos activating later, but...
yeah, let's go ahead and discard Cord.
And then they sack the Beast, probably.
Yeah. Alright,
Oh, hello. Can you play that and mass manipulation? I don't think so.
No.
Not on this turn, but that's okay.
I'd probably still just play it.
Yes, you have the negate back up, and like if then you steal the Rankle, then all of a sudden you have great sacks. Like you force them to sack stuff, and there's
Other
not really
things
much
again
you can do
just
about
steal
it.
their board right now too, right? Like that's also just a play. I kind of
It's
like
true, yeah.
because I get to leave negate up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your board, please. Thank you. 2 land plays available. Alright. Like having negate, like having Eldest Reborn. If they just go like land Garrick, like that's not enough. If they go land Liliana, we make them sack the token, that's not enough. Like, or if they...
Well, I mean, you probably negate either of those anyway.
Yes.
But...
those are just not resolving cards. That's fine.
yeah, you don't really want to activate Rankle on an empty board anyway.
Yeah, the most I would do is make them discard, and that's just what that did, so...
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Lumbering Falls tapped. Forget to do this.
You want to slam down that beanstalk giant, actually?
Yeah.
It's pretty big now.
So let's go ahead and...
Oh yeah, draws you a card too. Great Henges on board.
Mm-hmm. And again, Eldest Reborn looks really good against, like, one big play like they might be doing. This might be just a Garrick, though, or something. Oh, yeah, see, Eldest Reborn looks really good against that. Just make them edict it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm not gonna commit.
And they still die in the same, you know,
Yeah.
they still die in the same number of turns here, so you're good.
Yep.
And now they're gonna time limit until Ulamog comes back.
Boy, Dryad makes this slow. Okay. They can turn on the falls to block, but that's their entire turn. They have to discard to the Eldest Reborn. This is going to be negating whatever the hell this is. No, thank you.
It's a really good thing to negate.
No, thanks. That should be game. They can't block the 10-10 and the... Like...
Yeah, not unless they
Oh
play Fatal Push. Okay.
That doesn't work. That fails. They didn't have a revolt trigger.
Oh. Oh, never mind then. Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything.
Then they discard, so they have nothing left in hand.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
Alright, Eldest Reborn?
Good ass card.
Liking it. That's the sort of shit I think works real nice in this match. Anything else that looks kind of nice in this match? Narset might look nice in this match.
Force them to not draw the million cards off of things like Garrick.
Well, Garrick and
It is another thing for them to Elder stuff.
Yeah,
but
that might be an issue. I don't want them to just that is an annoyance.
they have Hero's Downfall as well. They've got a lot of ways to remove walkers, actually.
Yeah, I'm fine with Nissa because Nissa's too big of a threat not for me to play, but like
Yes.
yeah. No, I probably am just fine as is. Spell Pierces maybe for cool. Monolith, more counters, because our opponent is like huge haymakers. Kind of like that.
Yeah, Monolith's pretty good as an option.
Cut out the cord. Alright. Cool. This hand's fine.
Yeah, this is an on-time Uro. That's actually a turn earlier Uro, so.
Yeah, turn early Uro, which lets us ramp, and then we also get to, we also have the most powerful effect for us in this matchup, which is the Mass Manip.
Yes.
So.
I have a feeling they probably also sided in some counters.
They're a ramp deck.
Ah, same high.
Oh, we get a turn 3 Nissa, though.
That's pretty good. Yep, okay.
I like that. Holy shit.
Everyone's ramp. Good to know.
I'm gonna pay 2 life for this because we want the breeding pool.
Also, you're playing Uro. You don't care. He gains you 3 life every time he does anything.
Mm-hmm. So then we get to Uro. They can't play turn. They can't because they missed their land drop. If they made their land drop, they could have leveled up the tree speaker, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Spillroom. Ship the turn. Okay, there's a second. Yep, there's the level up. Now they've got 3 mana, and they're going to go ahead and ramp some.
So, bam.
Okay, you know what's good?
Destroy.
Lands are colorless. All right, sweet, cool.
Excellent.
It's a good play for them. Yeah, that's a really good play for them. Because this does not make the land colored. Lands are always colorless. Lands are colorless because lands are colorless. Is the answer to that question. So
Forest is not green.
indeed.
There's no colored activated mana cost or things that says that it has a color on it. Therefore, it's not a color.
Yep. And then we get to it does, but it is not. Lands are colorless permanents.
Mm-hmm.
Suspending that. Also, if they do anything like play a biggie, I can just mass manip their board. You know, like some of the dumbest ramp I have possible. So,
Believe it or not, no. Mountain is not red. Mountain is mountain. It is a colorless permanent.
yeah, but yeah, they cannot hit me right now. This is not happening. They would have to like kill my forest, which is
So they're gonna tap that with Dungeon Geist. Unfortunately, that you just make another one.
sure.
Or
Sure, I can't untap the same one.
yeah,
Okay, that's that flies. That's a bit of an issue.
yeah.
We can't sidestep that, and now that it's pro,
Blue, you can't mass manipulation either.
yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance. How are we getting around that? Don't hate you. Golos, Scrabbleland, untap. Can't really get damage in, but if they like attack with that sword, they just don't have So let's go Golos. Yes, I want to Golos here.
I imagine you just want forests, right?
Sort of. Like, I want to be able to mass manip if, like, possible, but... And I can't cast Thrag Tusk here, so... Pass it back. I pumped Nissa there, making a land, because it would have taken 6, and we would have been really bad there. Alright, I need something cool to, like, steal here, thanks. Thanks in advance. Give me, like, a super good mass manip target.
Give you the Garrick?
That'd work. It's hard for them to attack with this dungeon, guys, because they would take, like, 1,000 Okay.
Ah, shit. That actually is really annoying.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Oh, well, okay.
Okay, they're just gonna get rid of it. Actually, I was a little bit more worried about having to draw it. That's a row in the yard that's active now.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and cast this. Cast.
They hit a lot of your lands. Wow. All right.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. What did you progenitor mimic?
Dungeon Geists.
Oh yeah, it's a choose. And then
Yeah.
you can
I can't target it because it's a blue card, but I can start tapping down literally every card they control and try to beat them in combat.
yeah. They've got one unblockable creature.
Problem is we're dead
But
in
you
2
also...
hits too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um
I don't think you have a way to get rid of that sword is the problem.
No,
right? Because I don't think you have any artifact hate.
I would literally have to cast
Ulamog.
Ulamog to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one more turn. Sort of body and mind, kinda good against the Simic deck, turns out.
Yeah. Sort of body and mind, also, just kind of in general. As
Good.
always,
Good card.
good card.
Then here comes like a sure Hydra for 4.
Which is a slow
That's a
rankle, I
rankle.
guess. Yeah.
Alright. If I draw a blue source, I can steal rankle and block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we only have 3 blue right now.
I shouldn't have recommended you grab Forest there. That was my mistake. Because you would have been able to do that now.
Yeah, that kind of got us, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. I would need to... Like, I can't deal with that sword. Forest is not green.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you other than Forest is not green. This is the truth of Magic the Gathering. Yeah, so we're dead here. Damn. Yeah, I would have had to have stolen Rankle, used Rankle as a chump blocker, and then basically done a kill back.
Which I don't know if you were able to do, given that they are, making wolves every turn and stuff, but that was your only out, and
Yeah, that's not happening. Okay. Our deck is elementally weak to decking.
yes. It's pretty good at doing it, too.
I've decided I just want the mass manipulation. This deck feels one payoff card short.
Second Ulamog.
Terastodon,
It's second
something
Ulamog
like
is,
that.
I think, what you wanted.
No, Woodfall Primus.
My actual thought about why second Ulamog is because it would make you immune to decking, but
It's true. Oh, I could never deck. With Ulamog 1.
yeah.
Ooh, now you're thinking. Yeah. Lands are colorless. They tap for mana, but they are just colorless permanents in play.
Mm-hmm. And if that's that weird, there's actually a lot of colorless artifacts that tap for colored mana. Mox Jet isn't black.
Yeah, there's some funky things that would happen with existing cards. For instance, the warding on Ugin, if lands were colored, would just eat them all, I'm pretty sure. From the Vault Dryad Arbor. The one that you can hide in your forest because it doesn't look different. Yeah. I will take this just being 3 2-1s where I lose to decking in the mirror.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fun way to lose here.
Yeah. We just need to find one more mirror match. That's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, exile leech permanent with converted mana cost XLS. That would be if lands were colored, then that would just be activate. Whoops. Well, there we go. That's our.
Are you ready to lose the lightning bolt?
I'm very ready to lose the lightning bolt. I'm always ready to lose the lightning bolt, but Yeah, turn making Ugin just be, yeah, -0 Armageddon.
Sure.
That's Wolfwell Haven or Cord. It's probably going to be the Haven. No? Alright. Devoted Druid into Sack Tribe?
Well, I can't use the druid this turn, but
Oh, right, yes. Right.
maybe just sack try? No.
Now you can have a more explosive turn if you do the Druid now.
Yeah. They don't know what we drew. We know they know all their other contents, but they don't know that one. This is a kill. Oh, copter. That's actually a bit hard for us to interact with. Target this forest.
Doing a pretty dang good impression of mono green right now.
Sure.
That can't crew Smug Cop, right? It's,
Yeah, it can.
oh, it's crew 1, right?
Smug
Okay.
Cop is way better than you think, no matter what you think the
As
text
always,
is.
as always.
It's a 3/3, it flies. Did you know it loots on attack or block?
Or block. Hi, Grizzer.
Oh,
All right,
shit.
your opponent's playing Reanimation.
Oh, shit.
Gotcha.
We need to go find Scoos.
Mm-hmm. Good thing you're main decking Scoos. That'd be very helpful right now.
Okay, go grab a land.
I guess mechanically it makes sense for vehicles to be on attack or block because you're choosing to not attack with it if you're blocking with it, you know?
Alright, I want...
2 does let you cast back, though.
Yeah, I was just quick doing the math on that. Don't like being out of cards right now. We got some really good top decks in this deck. Especially when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit.
Is there any exalted shenanigans you can do with Devoted Druid to make it be able to untap twice in one turn?
Yeah, but you have to attack with it.
Yeah. I know, so not necessarily... Oh yeah, that means that you can just only generate 2 mana anyway.
Right, it's okay. Exactly the same.
Unless you gave it Vigilance.
Alright, here's a copter. What's the worst thing Gonti could have found? Mass Manip would suck. Wouldn't suck right now, but like it'd be annoying. Not a draw I'm excited about. This cube hasn't been updated since M21. There's not any
There doesn't seem to be any Zendikar cards in it at all.
Yeah, there's no battle for Zendikar cards in this. Full text on Gonti. Top 4, steal a card from the opponent. You can cast it. And it doesn't matter if Gonti's alive or dead, they just have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could cast literally anything in my deck here, other than Mass manip. Okay, 5th land. So you have a Gonti card plus 3. The worst case in my mind would be reanimate on the Grizzlebrand. So, sure.
Nico Bolas, Dragon God.
Yeah, that's fine.
Scoos, there we
Thank
go. That's good
you.
to see. Yeah.
Beast token attacks at Bolus, and they have to either take 4 or block with Knight or block with Copter, and none of those work. I could double attack, but the double attack is bad because the wolf just bounces off the Copter.
Right, yes.
Yeah, the Exalted here is good. Okay. So that puts Bolus on not able to do the destroy. It's just going to be a card draw bit for the moment, which it still sucks, but is better than where it was. We're going to go ahead and play Skews and pass. Uro would be good here. Sure. I want Bolus dead this next turn if possible.
Noxious Gearhulk, probably targeting Scavenging Ooze. So
Probably.
if that's the case, you want to get rid of what you can now.
Yep. Yeah. Let's get rid of the Grizzler. Get rid of the Batter Skull. Get rid of Tarn. Get rid of Conti. They'll gain 1 more life for this, but I'd rather them not be able to pick Conti back up if they do have some sort of reanimation. Okay, we're slowly falling apart here. This isn't great.
You can still attack with the Beast, I guess?
Yeah, Beast can still attack Bolus. They're just going to reanimate the Gearhulk next turn. Right? That follows, right? Like, if they again, the discarding Grizzlebrand on that turn makes me think they're a deck that, like, very clearly...
Because you don't play Grizzlebrand. You can, but, like, it's not a thing you really do.
Oh, okay, this is Liliana, the not,
That lets them pick up the Gearhulk, though.
yeah. Okay, so I no longer have attacks that work. I think we're being dismantled pretty quick here.
I think Negate comes back in.
That sounds good against multiple walkers. I feel like we can move on to game
Walkers
2
and
here.
Smugcopter.
Let's go ahead and move on. This one's not going to end for a while, but, like, I can't stop the Bolus anymore, and we're not going to be able to ramp. Eldritch Reborn doesn't seem bad either. I think we just do the same setup we had last time.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and then Forest out. Swamp in.
I think you could also swap in another island over Forest.
I think I'm okay with how the way it is right now. Oh,
On the basis of the negate and the mass manipulation,
sure.
mainly.
A little worried
We
about
still
not
have
having
plenty of green sources.
Yeah. Oh, this looks
And
sweet.
yeah, this rules. There's a Scooz and Negate in your hand right now, you know?
Want to draw Cultivate? Oh, shit.
Thoughtseize, huh? Alright.
Alright. There goes Nissa, I think.
If it's Scavenging Ooze, we know, okay, their graveyard is
Ooh.
way more of a plan than we saw last game.
Yeah.
They know we have a Negate now.
Makes sense. Ugh. That's fine, but I need the mana now, so...
Yeah.
So untapped land, or any land in the deck. I say untapped land because it, needs to be untapped, but...
That's all of your lands, so that's the
Yeah.
good news.
I will negate all... Well, I won't negate that. Okay, this is Kaladesh. Okay, then we just Nissa here. That seems really good.
Your opponent is missing land drops for what it's worth. They're on 3. Because they were on. Oh wait,
No, they
wait,
haven't
hold on.
missed...
They were on the draft. Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
they haven't missed land drops yet. Okay. Full fixing forever, full fixing forever. You don't even need to sack the Fabled Passage. Full fixing forever. Okay.
oh,
That'll attack
this
it.
isn't that bad, all things considered.
2 cards in hand, and we have Negate back up, so... Buddy, there's no reason you wouldn't attack with that. That doesn't make any sense.
You want to get Nissa down as fast as you can, buddy.
Also, this card can't block. We could crew,
You
but
got
we make a
3
4/4 to
blue.
block. There's no reason you do that. Yeah, we could 4 blue. We could just 4 blue by untapping a blue source with Nissa.
Yeah.
I can just play Thrag Tusk.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Problem is, I kind of want to leave up Negate, but it could again. It could. Yes, you're all saying it could crew, but we attack with a 4/4. You know, that's an impossibly bad action.
Unless they really want to discard something.
Like that would be, and I'd be very confused at a play like that. God, I really want to leave it that Negate, but I really want to get damage in. Maybe it's just Wolf Willowhaven, get in with a land? No, this is right. So Wolf Willowhaven. Okay. So attack 4. Now I have negate back up, and I can play Thrag Tusk next turn. Which is kind of what I need to do here. Pay 2 life. This has to be a creature. Yeah, this has to be a creature shit. Oh, we can mass manip that. Okay.
That's a great target for mass manipulation, yeah.
Yeah, as long as none of my creatures die, I can mass manip it. Oh shit.
And you... Oh shit?
Yeah, oh shit. Like I said, as long as none of my creatures die. One of my creatures is dying here.
Oh, because the island stops being a creature?
No, because either Nissa dies and I can't cast it, Noble Hierarch jump blocks and I can't cast it, Island blocks or I can't cast it. Like,
oh,
they're attacking for lethal on Nissa.
Okay.
So I have to either lose my blue source, lose my blue source, or lose my blue source. Those are my options.
Shit. I mean, I guess you want to lose the blue source that you could draw another one of. You could draw an island, right? So...
Yeah. If I let... We do have Breeding Pool in the deck. We just didn't draw it. If I let Nissa die...
Don't you need also the double green off of the forest?
Yeah, I think I do. So I think I have to block the...
Yeah, I think with the island and...
Yeah.
Breeding Pool or Island are both online draws on that case.
So Nissa goes to 1. So I need to draw a blue here. If I don't, we're in a really awkward position. Well, welcome to a really awkward position.
Sure is.
Pretty sure we lose from this position.
I think you also need to play the Absence Pilgrim as well. No, I think you'll still lose the Nissa here no matter what.
They can fly over. There's no stopping Nissa from dying here.
Oh, right, yes.
Like, that's not something that will work. Yeah.
There's a zombie in the cockpit of that smuggler copter.
Mm-hmm.
He's flying the helicopter and he's doing a great job. Please enjoy the zombie in the copter.
Okay. Block the zombie. Just get it off the table. Now we're in this really tenuous position here. Wow, they are super more creature-based than we thought in game 1, huh?
Yeah.
This negate's been garbage.
In game 1, they really played a bunch of things that Negate could have targeted,
Yeah,
but unfortunately...
In here,
Also,
it's just been... Yeah. It's been a whiff since turn 1. Damn.
They knew about it, but they've not played around it. They've just been all creatures this entire game. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Lets you play the Absence Pilgrim, so that's nice.
Okay, I don't think any attacks make sense. Well...
If they block with the Gear Hulk, then, I mean, you get the 3/3, but, like... The 3/3 does get to attack as a 4/4.
Okay. Right. That's 3rd blue, but not 4th.
Yeah, and also... Yeah, you need that fourth blue. And if you do, I guess the fourth blue does actually give you a bit of an out in the form of you can take the Titan and that is a threat. But they'll probably just kill the Titan. With some Necrotal or something. But you do have...
So here's the Scrounger
Yeah.
back, yep. Yeah, they are so much heavier than previously thought here. Because this is like... We've seen 3 spells out of them. Yeah, damn. I guess that just should have been Mana Leak. Oh well. Alright, so we have to full take this. And I need to draw a island. Gonti? No, thank you.
Well, I mean, that's a target at least.
No, thank you. Alright, I will counter your Blightning. Alright.
Although, again, they knew that we had that entire time. So, like, they played that knowing that we were going to do it. Well, okay.
Okay, so
that's something.
That's literally step 1 to winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
So now I need them to fail to draw a creature. So right now they have a lethal threat on the board if they can activate the Copter and attack with all these.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't activate the Copter and attack with all those, they're short a lethal threat, which gives me a little bit of time. I think all they have to do is play any creature in their deck. Any creature in their deck turns on Copter, and then they attack for lethal.
If that's the case, then Uro would be a good draw. Because, I mean, that's draw more, and then that's, well, that's dead.
That's any creature.
Yes.
Yeah. Uro, we would need to, like, draw Uro, and then Uro into a land, flashback Uro. And, that would have been enough to get us out of that position.
That was a heroic attempt, and that gives us a better idea of what this cube is like.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest missing piece for our deck was that we needed like the Terastodon we passed was probably a misstep.
Yeah.
Like because it felt like we were Ulamog and nothing as our like top end. And so we like, because Hornet Queen just was not performing.
Mm-hmm.
But that and like evaluation on that last game, had I gone with Mana Leak over Negate,
Mana Leak over that, and also there was also that game where I misled you and you should have grabbed an island instead of a forest. That you were right. You should have grabbed the island. You were correct. And I apologize for that.
Things happen. Anyway, that pretty much ruled, because like we just played a bunch of mirror matches against us. Except for the last match, obviously.
That last match was not a mirror match, but it was still pretty rad.
The other ones were mirror matches, basically. Like,
yes.
I didn't think round 2 was a mirror match until all of a sudden, like, they go Jiraga Tree Speaker, and it's like, oh wait, hold on there. I thought green was your splash, and they're like, nah, green was our main color. It's like, what? So.
Yeah, no, we although actually, that was the round you won off of them, if I remember right. And then
yes, because we
first and third were lost.
We lost the one where they flipped into Garrick and gained enough life to buy back the game.
Yes.
That was the one that, again, like, we just like, we needed another high level threat in the deck. There were so many games where we went through the entirety of our deck and couldn't win. Also, look, sort of body and mind. What
Sort of Body and Mind is a really good card against a Simic deck. It just is.
Weird.
It's hard to deal with that.
Alright. Anyway. That's gonna be it for today. So yeah. Modern Cube. This disappears tomorrow. Something might replace it. I have no idea. I find it basically impossible to follow what MTGO is doing. So maybe a new cube will exist, maybe something won't. I'll definitely check it out if there is something new. But yeah, anywho, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Doc, for jumping on the cube.
Yeah. it's fun to hang for any given cube.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, if you want to catch Doc, you can go over to sword.zone.
if you want,
Yep.
it's up to you.
If you want to catch more of the stuff I do, you can always follow, see when I go live. It's literally weekdays, 7 Central. That's when it is. You figured out the gimmick. But yeah, we got Netrunner coming up later this week is the big thing. World starts on Friday, and I am planning on just streaming that on like a delay. So that'll be starting like at noon, 12:30, I think is start time for that. So yeah, if you want to catch that, that'll be Friday starting 12:30. And if you want to subscribe, you get the Cool Skulls slime, supporting the channel, all that jazz. Anyway, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.